What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell. Welcome back to Rap Talk, and today I want to talk about this crazy run that Troyev is essentially has been going on for the last few weeks after this whole Taxstone being convicted and being caught guilty with the charges that he was sentenced. Nothing relating to the whole shooting incident, and I want to talk about not necessarily the case, but kind of what is happening with Troyev and what he seems to be doing and running with it, and why I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it. Everyone wants to stay out of the way, and I just want to give my take on the situation here. So Troyev has been going on a run, and this has been even before this whole conviction with Taxstone, where like back 6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that, where this whole issue happened, and everyone essentially diverted away from Troy Ave. Like when Troy Ave first came out, you had 50 Banks, Yayo, Maino was around him. Like you had a ton of New York people rocking with Troy Ave. Years later, the situation happens in Irving Plaza, where unfortunately Banga dies, Taxstone goes to jail, has been in jail for that long period of time. Troy Ave, sooner or later, gets out. I don't know the exact year. Essentially is going on a run, telling us that he's going to take the stand and running with a certain narrative. Now, Maino, if I could put the clip on here without YouTube getting iffy about it, Maino essentially came out and says that he doesn't like the narrative that Troy Ave is spinning, where essentially Troy Ave is not testifying on the situation. He's doing it for his own plea deal. He's got his own thing happening, but he's twisting the narrative, making it seem like essentially Taxstone was a hater in this. He tried to do something to him, and that's not the case. So I'll let that run. You can watch that real quick.
My only issue with that is that I just don't agree with the narrative that's been put out there as if Taxstone was there to try to look for a problem. Taxstone was actually there. That man was there chilling, right? That man was there, chilling, enjoying the moment. And these other dudes came in there looking for a problem. These other dudes came in there with that energy, looking to try to have a moment, and the moment just didn't go their way. So, I mean, I just have in disagreement with the whole narrative of becoming a victim after you tried to be an aggressor.
But besides that, aside from that whole trial and that whole guilty verdict that came from it, I have to say, what is happening with Troy Ave and what he continues to do, where he's now putting out, essentially a diss record, which I wouldn't call it a real diss record, to Maino and Joe Budden, to Taxstone, literally making a video right out front of the courthouse, probably right after he testified. Like, he's going on a run. And this reminds me of, one, what we don't get a lot in hip-hop, and two, this reminds me of like a 50 Cent thing. Like, it's very like, Troy Ave is essentially what I feel like has taken the thing where it's like, all right, you handful of people can have an issue with me. I can go on the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne doesn't want to be on the interview with me. That's cool. I got Envy and whoever else. Cool. If you haven't noticed that, I think that happened last year or the year before. Troy Ave went on the Breakfast Club. As always, Charlamagne doesn't want to go on because he's cool with Taxstone. And this happened probably a couple years back also with the same thing where Charlamagne does not want to be in the room with Troy Ave, so he chooses to not be a part of the interview. And I have to say, the run that is happening with Troy Ave, where he's sitting here like promoting his music, promoting his merch, promoting everything he has, is a strategy that I feel like has not happened in a long time in rap. At least within the last 10, 15 years, where you're sitting here being like, I'm gonna use this to essentially help my career. Now, I'm sure a lot of us will either like that, not like that. I just want to add my few thoughts and saying, like, it's a smart move. Like, nonetheless, if he's spinning the narrative and making essentially us on the internet feel like, Troy Ave's got a point. He should be testifying. His friend was killed, this and that, whatever. Or being like, Taxstone was a hater. He came in and attacked me, or whatever the case may be, whether it's true or not true, because we're getting two sides of what happened, and we truly won't know what happened that day. From everyone's point of view. But essentially, yeah, Troy Ave is coming out to be the winner in this. Now, I gotta say, the only issue is, obviously, just like 6ix9ine, no one wants to mess with this guy if you're gonna catch the stand and be talking and all that stuff. And like I said, a lot of rappers that were initially supporting Troy Ave in the beginning really switched courses and were like, I'm not rocking with this guy. Like, it just really went south for him. But it really feels like it's some 48 laws of power type maneuvers that Troy Ave's going on. And I'm sitting back, I'm watching this as a fan. I rock with a lot of his albums and projects he's put out in the last 10 years. And it's just interesting seeing him go through and consistently make these videos, whether it's a shot at Joe, which he's been doing for years, or now taking on Maino and whatever Maino has to say. And I'm like, all right, Troy Ave, you're really going for this one. I really want to know what other people's thoughts are, because I feel like everyone's kind of hush-hush on this whole situation. Again, we don't have to talk about the whole case situation with Taxstone and Troy Ave and the shooting stuff. It doesn't have to happen. But I kind of want to get people's thoughts on like this weird like run he's going on, where he's like, yeah, using this whole guilty verdict and just taking it and pushing a single. Obviously, a project's going to come from it. And I don't know, kind of iffy on it. It's a smart move, but I'm iffy on seeing how, like, yeah, it's just cutthroat and ruthless. But again, me being a huge 50 fan, if I saw 50 doing this, I'd be like, yo, I'm with this. I'm backing it. Like, I don't know. These are just my thoughts as I'm sitting here watching it. And I was like, let me make a video about this, because I want to know if anyone else feels the same, and maybe I'm just bugging. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. So as it would, of course, happen, Maino just literally dropped a video essentially checking Troy Ave. He pulls out a chain out of his car and is essentially being like, yo, you know this chain that you were rocking for a good while, brought to all your video shoots, you have photos with, all that stuff, I have it. And it's nothing, Maino was essentially not trying to check him or trying to be like, oh, I got your chain. Nothing for shock in this. He's essentially saying, I got your chain, it's fake. Like, what you've been rocking around, it's the whole story you've been giving us, it's fake. I gotta say, so I rock with Maino for a long time, always loved his music, and you can't really knock what Maino's saying. Like, I have no reason to sit here and doubt what Maino is saying, and I'll put the link down below for you to watch a full video, and I'll put a clip here.
And it's like, why would you say that? Because the only thing I ever said about you was, and I didn't mean no disrespect. I just told you that, or rather, I just said that I didn't agree with the narrative that was being put out there about what took place. And I stand on that. I was there. I don't agree with the narrative. But now, you got to give an explanation of why you spent your whole career wearing fake jewelry. Why what the fuck is this? And don't say it's not right, because I don't want to make another video, but the next one is going to be me hooking up with one of your homies and taking this to the jeweler to prove to everybody that it is. So I don't even want to do that.
You can't really knock anything that he's saying in this video. Like, it's like a 30-minute video, like 27 minutes, something like that. Check it out, because he's giving it up. And I mean, this could also be another reason why, and we've heard this, if you're a Troy Ave fan, you've heard this before, where like, people can't really vouch for Troy Ave. Like, they don't really believe that stuff he has always said, the bricks in my backpack, all that stuff. And it's kind of, as fans in this day and age, we're like, whatever. We don't care about that. We just want the music. I don't know. I just want to jump in, throw that part in here, because it literally just happened as I'm editing this video. Check out the video from Maino, and I'm sure we're going to get a response from Troy Ave, where he'll maybe even throw a curveball and say, yeah, I knew the chain was fake or whatever. Something like that. We'll see. I don't know. But I tried to share this real quick. Check the link down below.